So, Hellcrest, thank you for 16 months, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Diablo Immortal. And the topic we have to talk about today. So, nobody should be surprised by what we're having to talk about when it comes to Diablo Immortal. Nobody. Nobody should be surprised. Because we knew this was coming, and that is the fact that, of course, there are pay-to-win elements in Diablo Immortal. But to the degree of how extreme it is, that's the part a lot of people have been shocked by. And by shocked, I mean not shocked. That was sarcasm, a lie, a fabrication, if you will. Because I think we all saw this coming. And the source of where this topic is coming from as far as how pay to win is it, comes from a gentleman known as Greg2G. He did a video on it about a month ago. And Asmongold took a look at it, so I decided to take a look at it. So, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look.
We need to have a talk. It seems like there's a serious lack of understanding about how pay-to-win works in Diablo Immortal.
Okay.
The last, I don't know, few weeks or so, we've been kind of talking about pay-to-win in Discord now and then, and basically every time that gets brought up, people only talk about offense and defense rating. And I keep trying to tell people through text that that's not the biggest pay-to-win issue, but it just doesn't seem to be getting through.
What are these rating attributes? Okay, so I recognize all this over here. Strength, intelligence, fortitude, vitality, willpower. I recognize all of that. What is half of this over here?
So let's finally make a video on this. So yeah, offense and defense rating is very, very important.
Okay.
The most important stat in Diablo Immortal, more or less, unless you're in PvP, which is then it's not that important. In PvP, your offense and defense rating gets capped at like 10% increased damage or 10% decreased damage, which is still a large amount, but
true enough.
That cap makes it automatically just not as important as some other stats in PvP. But yeah, people are basically taking a lot of copium based on the fact that, you know, legendary gems do give a large amount of offense and defense rating, but if you grind hard enough, eventually free-to-play players will catch up to whales on offense and defense rating. And yeah, that is true, but yeah, there's still two other major issues with the pay-to-win that you will not catch up on. We'll talk about those in a moment. The conversation is pretty much wholly around legendary gems, though. Legendary gems are the #1 biggest issue and biggest source of pay to win in the game.
Oh, no. Oh, no. So, yeah. So, basically... Yeah, from basically what he said, the pay-to-win model is going to basically focus around the legendary gems. And if you're any kind of a former Diablo player or anything like that, then you know how valuable those things are. You know how valuable legendary gems are. And not just the impact on your playstyle or in your damage output and stuff like that, but just like in a lot of cases, the difference between life and death in a Diablo game. Like, they're very, 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 very coveted and very rare.
Legendary gems do 3 things. They do raise, well, 4 things technically, but for the pay-to-win sake, we'll say 3 things. They raise your offense-defense rating, they raise your damage and life, and they allow you to awaken your items that can give you like reduced cooldown or increased damage and that sort of thing. So, offense and defense rating, yeah, if you grind hard enough, you probably
basically
can catch up to
you win the game
on that. But the other 2 things that these legendary gems
what was that? I mean, there are some builds that do not work without proper gems and levels in D3. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Give no
You know nothing in Diablo, but you assume those will be gotcha. Watch.
amount of grinding is going
Worse.
to get you there. I have a few screenshots here I want to go over and have a look at with you guys. So we have Fishkeen here, a free-to-play player. Here are all his stats that he had in the beta.
So like he said, the person whose account he's talking about right here, Fishkeen, this person is a, I think he said they were
So we have Fishkeen here, a free-to-play player.
free-to-play. So this person went free-to-play.
All his stats that he had in the beta.
They spent no money.
3,500 offense-defense rating, more or less. 3,500 damage and 51,486 life. Had pretty decent upgrades on his gear, as you can see here. All level 17 on the primary gear.
That is good.
8, 9, 10 on the secondary. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the whale. Unfortunately, when you inspect people in the game, you cannot see their
Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Hold on, I gotta show y'all this full screen. Hold up, wait a minute. I gotta show y'all this full screen. Y'all. Bruh! Mega yikes. Mega yikes. Yeah, that's a big old yikes from me. Yeah. I don't need these on here. I don't need those on there. They're just crowding up the place. That is a mega yikes. Basically, yeah, that damage and health. Basically, look at right here. This person over here, damage and life, okay? This is a person over here on the left that has not spent any money in Diablo Immortal, okay? Damage at 35k, life at 51k. And then you have a person over here that is what he called a whale, basically a person that paid to win, okay? That threw all their money into it. Their damage is at 6.7k, and their health is at 75k, okay? Look at the difference. That's about a 24,000 plus on their 24,000 plus difference on their life, and that is about double the damage that they deal out. And this person deals more damage is dealing more damage and they have more life because basically they threw money at it. Yeah, that is a mega large gap. Like that's not even a you have a fighting chance gap. That's you're gonna get stomped, especially if it's PvP. Yeah, if it's PvP. If this is how it's going to be in PvP, you're going to get stomped. Here, I'll leave it in this view.
Rating, but that's kind of pretty much irrelevant to the conversation anyway. But as you can see here, this whale has fewer upgrades for the most part.
Yeah, and notice that right there. That was the other thing. Notice also the levels of their items. Like this helm, let's just look at the weapon. This weapon right here has a level of 16. This weapon right here has a level of 17. Those spalders on the whale have a level of 11, okay? Or, like there. And this one has like a rating and level of 17. So even with this person over here, the free-to-play has better equipment or higher levels on equipment. The fact that they were able to pay to win for the legendary gems over here puts them higher than this. Like, that's insane.
6,735 damage.
Yeah.
And 75,209 life. And that is the product of having, tons and tons of upgraded legendary gems. Mostly rank 5 legendary gems. So this is something that no amount of grinding is really going to catch you up on unless the whale actually just quits playing the game.
Yeah. There's no way to catch up.
PvP especially, this is the number one thing that's basically pay to win. You got a ton more damage, almost double the amount of damage, and a huge increase on life, 50% more life, give or take. Yeah. And yeah, no one's talking about this. Like everyone's forgotten completely that, legendary gems also increase your damage and life, and this does not get decreased at all in PvP. So now we can go ahead.
Did you hear that? The offense and defense statistics or whatever get decreased, or they get capped. But damage and life do not go down in PvP. So this means because this person threw more money at the game than the other person, or money at all, they're going to have a significant advantage in the game and in PvP. That's ridiculous.
And this does not.
And that's not you can choose whether you want to or not. No, this is basically them saying, well, if you want to be as good as this person, you better throw some money at it. And you know they're going to throw some shit in there to make it very tantalizing to do so.
Not get decreased at all in PvP. So now we can go ahead and inspect the whale's gear, and we can see just how this is possible. So he has Chip of Stone Flesh, a 5-star gem, Howler's Call.
Yeah, look at all those gems right there, and it's right in this area right here. These are 5-star gems, and that is the thing that's making all the difference. That is crazy. That is crazy. This makes them practically unbeatable. Like, the only way that the person that's going free to play, the only way for them to feasibly catch up at this rate, is to pay. Like,
Call,
Jesus.
Another 5-star Blood-Soaked Jade, Frozen Heart, a Blessing of the Worthy, all 5-star gems.
Jesus.
And you see this line right here: increase base attributes on all equipped items by 35%.
35%? Holy shit! Holy shit! If you've played any kind of an RPG, you know 35% is a hella increase. That is a hella increase. Holy shit. And that's to all base attributes. Jesus Christ. Are we shot? No.
Percent. So that's huge. Base attributes are the damage and life on the items. So helmet has damage, chest has life, pants have life, main hand and offhand both have damage.
Christ
and
almighty.
We're missing one of his pieces here, but it's not that important.
Yeah.
So yeah, 35%, 35%, 35%, 40%, 35%.
Wait, one of those has a 40% boost? What? One of those has a 40%? What in the hell, dude?
So this guy isn't even maxed.
He's not even maxed.
This much more life and damage.
Holy shit.
You know, legendary gems can go up to rank 10. That means you could have 6 slots with plus 50% stats on them. So plus 50% life and damage. So this guy could actually have a 300% more life and damage. If
I am shocked.
A little more money, you know?
I am shocked.
Yeah, for some reason, nobody's talking about this. They're like,
of course they're not.
People don't think life and damage are important.
Of course they're not talking about it because they don't want to talk about it because then they get exposed and they don't want to be exposed by it because that's what they don't want. They don't want you talking about it. Yeah, the people that are going to be throwing money at this, of course they don't want you talking about it. Blizzard, of course they don't want you talking about it. Of course they do.
For some reason, of course they're important. They're huge. And
of course they don't want you talking about it.
One source of pay to win for, PvP at least.
Jesus Christ.
Of course, in PvE, if his offense defense rating isn't high enough, his life and damage might not be doing as much, but still, like, this is huge. And this isn't even his final form. He's not at rank 10 in all slots yet.
He's not at rank 10, which means he's only going to get worse. He's only going to get stronger. He's only going to get stronger. That's ridiculous.
You think this is high, just wait till you see a whale with all rank 10s.
Jeez!
So, yeah. For some reason, nobody's talking about this, but
I miss in RPGs, MMORPGs or RPGs, when you went out and explored a world or explored a dungeon, and a piece of gear drops, and it's a significant upgrade, and it felt like you found the freaking Holy Grail. It feels special. It creates a significant difference in your damage or healing output or your health or anything like that. And it's such a fun dopamine hit. And if you didn't get it that time, then you and your friends ran it again. It just, even if you're in in a single player, RPG like Kingdoms of Amalur, and you find this purple item that is this big-ass hammer, but it also has this really kick-ass lightning enchant. I miss when games were like that. Instead, now it's, oh, you got your wallet ready, kids? All right, don't tell your mom.
This is the #1 source of pay to win right here. The offense defense rating, sure, you can, take your copium and tell yourself that you can.
Watch, this is just season 1. There's going to be new seasons with more pay to win, and they're going to be hiring. Oh, they are. You know they are.
Get more high.
That was one of my favorite things about D&D, finding cool gear, especially items that didn't get a lot of respect, and then using them in unusual ways. Well, it was kind of like finding, like in the old days in WoW, when like weapons actually used to have like cool ass effects and shit like that. Like if you actually had like a Shadowfang drop in Shadowfang Keep back in the day, like that Shadow Bolt that it did hurt like hell. If you didn't sell it for a couple grand of gold and whatnot that nobody had, but if you were like me and you kept it, oh, you wrecked everything. You were the man, and everybody hated you.
Higher offense defense rating, or catch up on offense and defensive rating, but that's not going to matter because you're not going to have all these increased base attributes unless you have 5-star gems in every slot and have them leveled up pretty well. And you better hope you have like $50,000 or more lying around if you want to reach that level.
Jesus.
Now the third thing, and this is a little bit of a sneak peek at my Necromancer guide on maxroll.gg, is Awakening. So when you awaken an item, you can get cooldown decreases or damage increases, lots of different nice bonuses. But they require a rank 10 gem. Luckily not a 5-star gem, it can be a 1-star gem.
Thank God.
But a rank 10 gem to awaken. And even getting a rank 10 1-star gem took nearly every single legendary gem I had to put into one gem to get it to rank 10 by the end of
Sarah Dad, thank you for 21 months, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Beta. So 3 months worth of legendary gems to get one rank 10 1-star gem. Okay?
Jesus.
So even as a free-to-play player, you
ain't getting shit.
I almost forgot. You can't even do this as a free-to-play player.
You can't. Yeah. Like the rate, like he just said, the rate that shit is gonna drop for you, or that you turn stuff into it just to be able to get the freaking, the Lego gems. Forget about it. Like just forget about it. Like there's no way you're going to be able to catch up. There's no way. And you know what? Look, I'm sorry, but a company like NetEase, they do this all the time. A company like NetEase does this all the time. This is not an accident. This is deliberate. This is on purpose. This is the kind of shit that NetEase does. And you know what? Everybody and their mother, me included, and most of you included that were here when I did this, when we talked about this, when they first announced this, we all said they're gonna do this. Everybody that has a brain, everybody said they were gonna do it. And yet, I can remember when I made my video responding to the bullshit about Diablo Immortal and how they were, contacting YouTube to get people's comments and taken down and shit like that. Like, dude, I remember this. I got comments on my video saying, you just want to stop, the future of gaming is mobile. You're just wagging your finger saying that you don't want people to have fun. This is where it is. I actually was at BlizzCon and I played it. And I'm like, bullshit, you were not. Bullshit. It's like when I talked about the damn Intellivision Amico and I got comments in there saying, what are you talking about? This is gonna hurt you all the consoles right now. I'm like, what a bunch of fucking whales, dude.
You can't. Because first you do require the rank 10 gem, and then you require another item that costs 1,000
Yes,
orbs
3 months.
to
Yes, 3 months. You heard that right. 3 months. Yes, you did.
awaken the item with the gem in it. Anyway, yeah, you get some pretty nice bonuses from this. So as you can see here, the Necromancer chest, when you awaken it, you can get a Bone Wall cooldown decrease by 10% or Bone Armor cooldown decrease. Same with the legs. And
Yeah,
you
too
can do
bad
this
our free-to-play
on all 6
players
of
never
your
going to get
slots.
this.
So you could get up to, I think it was 30% cooldown decrease on Bone Armor.
They'll
or
never
Bone
get
Wall.
this.
30% cooldown decrease on those. And if you saw any bone pillars in PvP, you can imagine how crazy it would be to have 30% cooldown on your bone wall.
Don't you know, KB, they will pull it all out when the game is dying because they are listening to fans. Oh, yeah, you mean like all the change? It's just, dude, they do this with World of Warcraft. They do this with World of Warcraft. Any changes or things that players are like, leave it. If players say leave it alone in the WoW PTR, they don't listen. But if they say change something, they don't change it. It's half the reason Torghast sucked for the first year and probably plus some of that in Shadowlands. Like the way that Torghast was in the beta and PTR before Shadowlands dropped, everybody loved it. Nobody had anything to complain about with Torghast when it was in PTR and beta before Shadowlands dropped. They didn't listen, they changed it, and then everybody hated Torghast. Torghast was the worst thing about Shadowlands. I'm not talking about narratives or plots or Sylvanas, anything like that. The worst thing about Shadowlands was Torghast. And that was like the big thing they were promoting about it. Like, look at this deep dungeon, except not really, that we've developed. Oh, guess what? You only get it once a week. Once. Why? Because F you, that's why. And then a year later, after listening to the fans, here guys, you can run Torghast as much as you want. We're listening, guys. And it's all this, it's the thing I say all the time. Why does it take, especially nowadays, why does it take an Activision Blizzard game a year to get better? Why? You want to know, and you want to know something else? This happened with Diablo 3 as well. It took Diablo 3 about a year to get good. It took it about a year. It really did. Why does it take a year? I've always said this. When you release a game, fire on all cylinders from the get-go. Don't wait a year because you'll lose people. And then it's like you can only win them back with pity after so long. You really can.
So this, completely behind a paywall. And this is huge, like huge cooldown decreases or even 30% damage increases depending on the skill that you want to awaken, or the legendary item you want to awaken, I should say. And no one's talking about this either, even though this is probably the worst part of the pay to win in the game, because you cannot do this as a free to play.
You can't
in the beta. Hopefully they change that.
I hope they do.
They take the paywall down, make it able to be earned as a free-to-play player, but
I hope they do too.
Still, this is really huge too.
No, this is ridiculous.
Cooldown decreases.
This is ridiculous.
30%. Hell yeah! Like, who wouldn't want that? So guys, put your copium away. We need to keep complaining about the pay-to-win in the game. A lot of people are just taking their copium and just trying to accept the fact that it's there, and we just have to keep complaining. And just look at Lost Ark. A lot of people were complaining about how pay to win that game is. They're making changes over there.
Yep.
If we complain enough, they will.
And you know what? I was warned before Lost Ark dropped. I was warned by some people in the comments by how pay to win Lost Ark is. And I took that with some grain of salt, but I didn't forget it. I went, okay, let's just see how bad it is. Turns out it was bad. And it's just like, I'm sorry, it's not a video game anymore when the gap between actually playing the game and just throwing money at it to make you better, when the gap is like significant or significant enough or just bullshit. It's not a video game anymore. It's a slot machine.
We'll make changes. Okay? Just complain.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. It's not a slot machine if you know what you're getting. It's not a slot machine. It's not. It's not. It's a vending machine.
A lot. Keep complaining. Put the copium away. The pay to win is way over the top in this game. And look at all these amazing looking.
And they do.
Cosmetics.
Yeah, the cosmetics look great. They do.
That they will be making tons and tons of money off anyway. Like, there is.
And you know, these cosmetics, you know this half this shit ain't gonna be in the game. You know half this shit ain't gonna be in the game. You know it's not. You know it's not. Pony up that dough. Pony it up.
There's absolutely no reason that there should be so much pay to win in this game.
No.
When they have put so much work into all these cosmetics. Like, it's actually
because they know you're going to want it.
To know that there's so much pay to win in the game. And, you know, when they could have easily made profits just from these amazing cosmetics. I mean, they are going to make profits from these amazing cosmetics.
Oh, they are.
100%. But they could have made enough, you know, to be satisfied. But they're getting way too greedy.
They knew it because they knew exactly what they were doing
with their money.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
I hope you guys feel more informed.
Look, and let's not kid ourselves. When they said it was only coming to phone, I would not put it past them that they knew the response was going to be backlash. I wouldn't put it past them. Them probably bringing it to PC, I would, and I know this is kind of getting into tinfoil hat territory right here, but y'all, it's Activision Blizzard. I would not doubt it for a moment. I wouldn't doubt it for a moment if they hadn't planned to put it on PC all along. Why? Because suddenly, you noticed some of the tone shifted after it got announced for PC. I even said, yeah, that was a smart thing to do, but let's be for real here. Would you find it shocking if you discovered that they had planned to just port it to PC all along? Even after saying, don't you guys have runes? Would you be shocked? How many times, y'all, how many times, this company is infamous for ripcording. They're rubber banding. They're so infamous for this. You know, we can't do that, guys. Well, you know, we actually listened to you now, and you know, after reviewing player feedback, we're gonna put in that thing that you told us not to take out. You want the biggest example? How many of you screamed at them? How many of you screamed at them when they were when they took tier sets out last expansion? The WoW community themselves were pissed when they took out tier sets. They were pissed. They were absolutely pissed. It was an engineered response? Of course it was. An engineered response. Tier sets in World of Warcraft had been a, thematic thing about WoW. It was something that was just ingrained in the game. So when they say we're not doing it, it made everybody go, what the hell? You know, it doesn't matter whether you rated or not. Nobody was happy. Nobody was happy about that decision. Next expansion rolls up. Shadowlands. Hey guys, guess what? Tier sets are back. I mean, it's just like, why'd you take them out? It's like you want us to go, we love you for that. It's like, and everybody's response was, why'd you take them out? You shouldn't have taken them out. That was a dumbass decision. And if they had just come up and said, you know what? That was a dumbass decision on our part, y'all. We should not have taken tier sets out. That was stupid. And they could have done that before the expansion was over because everybody was saying it throughout BFA. And the thing is, look, I'm sorry. I know game development is difficult. It was just a copy of Cold War. Every Call of Duty is a copy-paste of each other. Let's quit kidding ourselves here. Every Call of Duty is a copy-paste of itself. It's been a copy-paste of itself since MW2. But that's beside the point. That's beside the point. I know game development is hard. I know it is. Okay? I get it. And I get that those people work hard. And some of them work in shit situations. But I say this to the dev team leaders. When they act like, oh, we can't. It's most of the time, y'all, it's not we can't. It's that they won't. A lot of the times, it's not we can't, it's you won't. Okay? That's what it is a lot of the times. And I'm telling you, with all the feedback and criticism that people are giving the pay-to-win stuff with Diablo Immortal, it's not that they can't stop the pay-to-win, it's that they won't.